What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. It's been a while. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I hope you will stay. When I was getting married, a good friend of mine advised me to look up the five love languages, get well acquainted with them, ideally before the wedding. However, with the busyness that comes along with wedding planning, I never got to do so. Now, at the beginning of our marriage, we kind of struggled a little, and I won't fully blame it on not knowing what our primary love languages were, but I believe it contributed to the struggle. So it's like, let's talk about these love languages and why we actually need to know them. Keep watching. Baby, let the light shine through if you believe. You might be wondering, what are love languages anyway? And to my understanding, love languages are where we express ourselves in love and where other people express themselves in love. And according to Gary Chapman, there are five love languages, which are acts of service, words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, and physical touch. Now, before we get into knowing what and why we actually need to know our primary love languages, let's talk about these love languages a little bit more in detail. Words of affirmation. Well, the people who fall in this category thrive on hearing how you actually love them or care about them. Basically, you gotta affirm them all the time. You have to compliment them, you have to serenade them, you have to write them a poem. Basically, they only feel and understand that they are loved through hearing. So you gotta keep the I love yous, the I miss yous coming. You gotta compliment them when they are looking good. And the moment you stop doing any of that, they start to question whether you actually still love them. So these ones you have to tell them all the time. You gotta remind them on a daily basis. Acts of service. Personally, I think all African men belong to this category because they love coming home to a clean house. They love coming back home to a good warm meal. Basically, they love, to find everything ready for them. Laundry, this and that and that. But anyway, when it comes to acts of service, this is when someone goes out of their way to do something for you, something that you can actually do for yourself, or something that you are meant to do, but you are caught up or you're too busy to do it. It doesn't have to be anything serious. Basically, it could be the daily household chores. Like I said, African men believe it's the woman's duty to actually do all house chores, which I don't think is right, but that's talk for another day. But this is when you actually go out of your way to do something for your partner. It could be as simple as making them a cup of coffee. It could be as simple as picking up groceries for them. It could be as simple as ironing for them when they are running late. And believe you me, it makes us feel loved. And yes, I belong to this category. Acts of service is one of my love languages. And boy, do I feel loved when hubby makes me a cup of coffee, brings it to my desk with a cookie when I'm having such a busy day, in that I'm even starving despite working from home. So basically, this is when you do those small things for your partner, even if you know they can do it, but you go out of your way and do it for them. So these kinds of people feel loved when you make such small gestures for them. Moving on to the next one, receiving gifts. Now, a lot of people assume that when someone's love language is receiving gifts, it actually means that they are expensive. and know that is not actually the truth behind it. Like, you giving someone a gift doesn't mean that it has to be expensive, but also it doesn't have to be dull. Like when you're getting someone a gift, you need to be thoughtful. It has to be meaningful. However much it's not expensive, it has to be meaningful. It could be as simple as, saving your partner dessert from wherever you are and you bring them that Casimil sweet. It could be, you contributing to a certain goal that they are trying to drive at. It could be you supporting them financially in their business. Even money counts as, as gift. So basically, these are people who only understand that you love them when you give them something, because that act of giving them shows them that you actually thought about them in their absentia. And love is a doing word, love is a verb. So to some people, there's no way you're gonna convince them that you love them when you're actually not giving them. You gotta support your claim of, loving them with something. So though that is receiving gifts. Moving into the next one, we have quality time. Now, quality time, these are people who only feel loved when you give them your quality time. And by that, I mean you give them your undivided attention. You put away the phone, you're not distracted by TV. I mean, even if you're not going to be talking about anything serious, you could be talking about sweet nothings, but they need your undivided attention. And I believe we have all come across some people who complain about their partners. And I mean, it doesn't matter, male or female. You often hear people make comments like, my partner gives me everything, but they never spend time with me. Those are people whose primary love language is quality time. You could be giving them everything else, or trying to meet their needs through all the other love languages, but they still don't feel fulfilled because you're actually not meeting their primary love language, which is quality time. And lastly, we have physical touch. Physical touch, these are people who only thrive, when they have that body to body or skin to skin contact with their loved one. They are so physical. They love smooching, they love cuddling, they love PDA. The kind of people we find in public, holding hands, the ones who usually term as being all over each other. Those kinds of people usually belong to this category. They love holding hands, they love holding their waist, they love sitting next to each other, leaning onto the other. Basically, they love that physical intimacy with their partner, and anything short of that makes them question your love for them. So these kinds of people, the intimacy they need doesn't even actually necessarily have to end with sex. However, if it ends with sex, that would be a bonus. But mainly, what they need is to have that body to body, skin to skin contact with their partner. And I know some of us, sometimes you wanna disappear into your partner's skin. Some of them you find they are so clingy, they are always, trying to force themselves on their partners. That is because that is their primary love language. That is how they feel loved. So, with that being said, I think let's come back in the next episode and get to know why we actually need to know ours and our partner's love languages, so we don't elongate this video more than necessary. Don't you agree? Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And if you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and click the notification bell so you're the first to know when I upload a new video. Ciao.